Hello, sir. Am I audible? Hello, Agor. Am I audible?
Yes,
Agor?
sir, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. Just checking. Just checking.
Hello, am I audible? Nijo, can you please respond?
Yeah, Anita, please continue.
Good afternoon, one and all. Respected guests of honor, beloved faculties, and my dear friends, warm welcome to everyone. We are all gathered here for a webinar on entrepreneurial awareness and competencies, which is held as part of Amento 21. Before we start the session, on behalf of the whole college, I welcome the guests of the day, Mr. Shivan Ambat. He is an expert in project management and entrepreneurship. He specializes in strategy, formulation, donor management, partnership development, and establishing rural business institutions. He brought international training programs like Expand Business and Start and Improve Your Business program in India. He has worked with multilateral agencies. His specializations include value chain development, cluster development, youth entrepreneurship, and group and women entrepreneurship. He has also published one book, 11 manuals, and 2 reports. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mr. Shivan Mohammed TK. He is an academician with 5 years of experience in guiding various technology-based startups across the state of Kerala. Pioneered in institutionalizing IEDCs in various colleges, he is a UN-certified Emeritic Program graduate and an existing student entrepreneur across the state. His area of interest include techno-entrepreneurship, Internet of Things, innovation, and life skills development. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Therefore, I sincerely hope that this webinar would be a great experience to all. You may start, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Sania. Thanks for the good words. Welcome, Talkit, for today's session. Today, I have my senior colleague and mentor, Mr. Shivan Ambat, who will be handling the session for you. So prior to moving on to the session, prior to going on to the topic, today's topic is on entrepreneurial competencies and awareness. And we are actually solely concentrating on having a small awareness program of what is entrepreneurship, because we have a lot of things in store for you. The awareness is the first part that you will have to know, okay, what is this all about? I'm hearing all the buzzwords, startup, entrepreneurship, and all the things are going around me, innovation, creativity, lot of webinars are happening. So what is actually entrepreneurship and how we actually take about this? That is actually what is covered here. We don't actually plan to bring out startups from this program. That is certain. We don't feel like after completing this program, you guys will think about, okay, I'll have to bring about a startup. No, this is actually the first step. This step will cover on some essential qualities, maybe not much on entrepreneurship, but still some essential qualities that is required for making you an entrepreneur. We are faculties from Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India is a national resource organization for entrepreneurship. It was set up in Gujarat in 1983 by all the financial institutions like SBI, IDBI, ICICI, IFCI Limited. Together, it was set up in 1983, but the idea for setting up a national resource organization had gone all the way back to 1979. When the first EDP model was actually conceived and conducted for one of the training programs in India for one of the government. from then onwards, we had been proactively thinking about making an EDP model for our nation. And from this, we have come out with this concept of Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, an organization solely for catering, solely catering to the startups and the entrepreneurial community here. One of the specializations for our EDI is in the student entrepreneurship model, because we have been actively working here in Kerala with the Kerala Startup Mission and various other organizations like Kerala State Youth Welfare Board and all. So we know what will be the rapport of the student, when they want to set up something or when they want to start their journey in entrepreneurship. We particularly can guide them, and we can accordingly we can say, okay, this is the right path for you, and so forth. We also have our academic programs in entrepreneurship. We have the PGDM programs, the PGDM entrepreneurship model, which is the first of its kind in India. We are the only B school. We can boast of the only unique B school with entrepreneurship as one of the core areas in our forte. So we have the PGDM program, which is postgraduate diploma in management entrepreneurship, which is a 2-year program, similar to the IIM program which we have there. Also, we have the PGDM IEV program, PGDM in Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Venture Development, which is a very unique program which has been just launched the last year for just 12 institutes throughout the nation. It's solely for startup development, student entrepreneurship and all. So we have these 2 PGDM programs, the 2-year MBA type of programs we have in our institute. We also have the very unique PhD program in entrepreneurship. So together, this is our core area. Entrepreneurship is our core area. Having said this is just an introduction to EDI. I will move to my colleague who can give you a very good idea of what is actually required for entrepreneurship. So first of initially, before going on, I would like to thank Talkage for giving this opportunity for us to share our knowledge with you guys about all the entrepreneurship and the model and the competencies. So Shivan sir, I guess you're there, Shivan sir? Yeah?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, sir. So over to you, sir. So I just given a small brief about EDI. So you can just give a good coverage. Yeah, thank you, sir.
And Shivan, you just also show this corporate movie to them, because they will have a glance over it, and then I will take it up.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, guys, I'll just show a small video of what we are and how our activities are. And also, sir, we can also have a small photograph session if before the class or after the class. It's as per your desire. Yeah.
Before class starts, we can have a photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if in any case you are not able to see or hear the sound, please do let me know. I'm going to present the video here.
A prosperous economy.
Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
A prosperous economy is the dream of every nation. The most distinguishing trait of a prosperous economy is that it nurtures the spirit of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs are an asset to both developing and developed economies. So at a time when the world is witnessing an interesting interaction between entrepreneurship and economic development, here is an organization committed to entrepreneurship education, training, research and institution building. We are Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, popularly known as EDII, the premier national resource organization in entrepreneurship since 1983. EDII was set up at Ahmedabad by Apex Financial Institutions, the IDBI Bank Limited, the ICICI Bank Limited, IFCI Limited and the State Bank of India, with support from the Government of Gujarat. The Institute embarked upon a journey of creating successful entrepreneurs with the launch of the first ever entrepreneurship development training concept, hailed as the EDII EDP model. training became a core area, beginning from sensitizing people about entrepreneurship to hardcore training to ensure that new enterprises became widespread. The training range expanded to include sector and target-specific programs, cluster development in both organized and unorganized sectors, and capacity building to generate tangible results. No wonder today the Institute aids the National Mission of Skilled India, Prosperous India, with several skill-building projects in place. The Institute's evolution of crisis resilience models has also been successfully implemented during natural disasters. EDII's collaborations with national and international organizations strengthen its mandate of promoting entrepreneurship. Education was gradually brought into the fold with the introduction of pioneering academic programs so that the aspiring young and the dynamic could have their dream ventures. The Center for Advancing and Launching Enterprises, CRIDEL, will further ensure emergence of the innovative startups in burgeoning sectors. The CRIDEL has been set up with the support of the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India.
EDII has been working with various target groups to help them through interventions of education, training, grooming, mentoring support and incubation support to contribute to the nation building and economic development. We are very happy that we have experience of working within the country and outside, and EDII is credited with leading entrepreneurship movement in the country.
As a nodal and monitoring agency for several ministries, including the Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of MSME, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Ministry of Food Processing, Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Textiles, Ministry of External Affairs, and many more, EDII has achieved its mandate at the national as well as international levels. At the international level, with the mandate of creating and nurturing global citizens, EDII has not just got into capacity building of professionals, but has also taken up institution building for sustainable results. Today, institutes set up by EDII are successfully functioning across different countries. India too has embraced most of its entrepreneurial capacities on account of state entrepreneurial initiatives. EDII is the organization setting up of centers and institutes of entrepreneurship development in 12 states. Helping state governments formulate the startup policy particularly marks EDII's contribution in state entrepreneurship scenario and the startup domain. While the Institute's alumni are making a mark across the country and the globe, EDII-trained resource persons are ensuring that the entrepreneurship movement only gets strengthened by the day. To keep the flag flying high, step matching with the times is important, and thus research and documentation holds an important place in the work profile of the Institute. EDII has been chosen as one of the 5 leading institutes to be appointed as a policy research center by the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The institute leads the world's largest study, the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, GEM India. Publishing the prestigious Journal of Entrepreneurship since 1992, featuring prominent research papers in the sector, reflects its passion to take up research, curriculum development and evolution studies strengthen its base. An aspect which assigns credence to EDII is its faculty and ensemble of highly qualified academicians, researchers, social scientists and industry experts dedicated to the mission. A path well traveled, yet miles to go. EDII, adorned with national and international awards and housed in the sprawling Aga Khan award-winning campus, makes a promise. Udyoginam, Purushsyaham Mopayati Lakshmi is EDII's motto, which means if you're hardworking, focused, and in touch with your inner strength, prosperity will come to you. EDII, the place for entrepreneurs. Come, join us in this miraculous phenomenon. Live for the country. Live for yourself.
Okay, thank you. So that was a short video of EDI. We can proudly say that, like, we are proudly saying that we have now, since like we have been setting up similar kind of entrepreneurship institutions, like in countries like Laos, Vietnam, Uzbekistan, Rwanda, and many African countries. Like, we have been pioneering in setting up institutes. So now, without further delay, I'll be moving on to the session, like which Shivan sir might be handling for you. But before that, if we could have a group photograph, if you could all just switch on your cameras and we could just have a group photograph and then move on to the session, it would be quite helpful. Guys, could you just switch on your camera and then we could have a photograph? Okay. Agoch sir, could you ask students to switch on the camera? I can see only Sania smiling. The rest all, you can just smile and you can take a photograph. Okay. Just one more, please. Okay, thank you. That'll be all. So we can now move to the session. Shivan sir, over to you, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
You can now switch off the camera if there's some issue with the bandwidth. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Very much.
Yes.
Thanks, Shivan, for introducing EDI to the students as well as Tokaj. I think that you are already interacted with them earlier even. Students, we are going to talk today slightly about the concept of entrepreneurship. I, Shivan Ambat, working with the Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India since 1991, approximately 30 years of my professional career was devoted for ED promotion, Entrepreneurship Development promotion. In a nutshell, I also worked along with EDI in International Labour Organization, United Nations Development Program, European Commission, and right now working for Government of Kerala, taking various assignments as well as Government of India. From Kerala itself, we are investing approximately 100 crores in Kerala with the support of Kerala government as well as central governments. So there are various schemes and policies are available to promote entrepreneurship, to support entrepreneurs, to boost industry. But one of the problems that we face that people are not much aware about the schemes, policies, and supports are available from various ministries. And we take a challenge of providing it, and that is why we could mobilize approximately project worth 100 crores to invest in Kerala. When we talk about entrepreneurship, it's a pioneer institute, is Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. As you've seen, the institute has initiated during 1983. But prior to that, why this institute was required to be? During 1970s, policy makers and the planners of India have started to analyze how could we make a strong India, how we could build a strong nation. They were contemplating on this issue, and it was realized that certain point of time that unless until there is a good supply of entrepreneurs, the country cannot move ahead further, or country will not be able to reach in its desired goal within the set time. The subsequent question then it was emerged: is it possible to develop entrepreneurs? Because we are quite confident that we will be able to make bureaucrats, IAS officials, IPS officials, clerical cadre, doctors, engineers, and various facets of professional career. But until then, it was not fully convinced that we will be able to develop trainers, entrepreneurs, because there was a myth: entrepreneurs are not entrepreneurs are born with certain kind of skills, and because with those facts they are leading the entrepreneurial career. But we try to contemplate on this and try to do some kind of experiments and realize that and come up with a training program called Entrepreneurship Development Program, EDP. We were analyzing what are the requirements during 1970s, I say. What are the basic requirements of entrepreneurial aspirants, potential entrepreneurs, and first generation entrepreneurs? When I say these terms, entrepreneurial aspirants are also to be known as potential entrepreneurs who is aspiring for entrepreneurship career. Also first generation entrepreneurs. There are the first generation means Dhirubhai Ambani is a first generation entrepreneur, but Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani is second generation entrepreneur. So we try to get first generation entrepreneurs to have a good flow or to entrepreneurial community. So what are the requirements? Everybody will say prima facie that we need money. If we need money, if you give me money, then I will be able to start and function as a good entrepreneur. But is it possible? Generally not. If that being the case, most of the wealthy family in India must have started by their own enterprises. But if you analyze it properly, very limited percentage of the wealthy family has joined in the stream of entrepreneurial career. Certain people will say that we need technology. If technology provided, we will be able to. But how many percentage of the technocrats, if the people have come up from ITIs and IITs and has started their career as an entrepreneurial manner? Or management, highly. IIM, Indian Institute of Management types organization was supplying large number of management graduates every year. But how many of them have started their life as an entrepreneurial career? This was a question that we may have to analyze rightly. So we also tried to, during 1970s, that we tried to analyze these kind of questions, and we convened certain kind of gatherings, focused group meetings, interactions, and identified that there are many facets of inputs these entrepreneurial aspirants are required. Accordingly, we have developed a program called EDP, Entrepreneurship Development Programs, which was of 30 days duration. And we tested it well, and there was a very positive response from the participants. Accordingly, we tried to establish it and impart this training across India. But at the same question, who will do it? That point of time, there was no organization who was committed exclusively working for entrepreneurial community. So the initial work of EDP promotion was done by all India financial institutions. When I say IDBI, IFCI, ICICI, SBI, and the government of Gujarat had given us approximately 25 acres of land where this institute is. In the PPT, what you have seen is that EDS campus. We established this campus there with the support of all these financial institutions. And we, sitting in this Ahmedabad office, we were not in a position to implement the programs across India. So we tried to convince state governments and institutionalize this activity under their domain. And state level EDU institutions has been started one of such institutes in Kerala, that is Kerala Institute for Entrepreneurship Development, which is operating from Kalamassery. They have also a good campus in that area. So later on, we have developed large number of first generation entrepreneurs. And it is easy one way that everybody can come and join and train and start their own business if certain kind of setups are provided, certain kind of facilities are provided. But once entrepreneur starts their career, then there will be some kind of issues. We will say that teething problems. Who will address, during that point of period, there is no agency to handhold these entrepreneurs because they have invested their money in this business and they are not in a position to come out of this enterprises ever because their entire wealth resources are invested there. So they may have to pull on that. And you may analyze that for each and every problem in that stage, there will be some kind of difficulties. Even as a child, when he started to move, started to walk, he may fell in many times. You know? So similarly, when the entrepreneurs started to have their enterprises, they will be facing many kind of challenges. So these are the teething problems. And in entrepreneurial language, we will call it as 7 crises. The founder director of Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, late Padma Shri Dr. B.G. Patel, he wrote a good book about this 7 crises published by Tata. So if somebody is interested, what are the problems faced by the startups at the initial days, you can refer that book. So based on this feeling that entrepreneurs are to be handheld after initiating their enterprises, we started another program called Performance Improvement Program. Only with an object that if any entrepreneur faces any kind of issues for their functionalities, then we will be able to address them. So second level of programs we have started, that is Performance Improvement Program. Subsequently, there are a number of people have started and established their business well, and they prefer to have expansion, modernization, or diversification of their enterprises. So we have come up with their support and started another level of programs called growth programs. So this is the initial 3-level programs we have started. But at the same time, this supply through this program, though we have started with the 3-level of programs, supply to the entrepreneurial community is only coming from first program called EDP, Performance Improvement Programs, as well as growth programs only, supporting to the entrepreneurs community, not to increase the supply of entrepreneurs. So only we are stuck up with again EDPs. Then it was not as per the required level that support of entrepreneurs are into the entrepreneurial community. So what happened that we further analyzed it. What is the possibilities? By the time woman entrepreneurship or woman empowerment has come into very mainstream. So we have started to have special courses for women entrepreneurship. I say that which is the woman entrepreneurship model of Kerala. Anybody can answer? Hello? Hello? I would like to have
yes, sir. Yes, please answer. Sir is asking a question.
Which is the woman entrepreneurship model of government of Kerala? What is its project title? Which project it deals with? Anybody can answer?
Kudumbasri.
Yes, Kudumbasri. So I am the first consultant. It is the first consultant for developing Kudumbasri models in Kerala. So similarly, various states has been advocating for women entrepreneurship. So we took women entrepreneurship as our another verticals. Similarly, youth entrepreneurship. You know that there is one government department called Kerala State Youth Welfare Board in Kerala. So we were the consultant for developing youth as a entrepreneur. So this kind of activities we have started: women entrepreneurship, youth entrepreneurship. Then by the time that there is a feeling that we may have to address the entrepreneurial needs of students community. So planning board as well as now known as Niti Aayog started to work on this, and they have realized that within the next decade, there is a need for creating 115 million employment opportunities for India. 115 million employment opportunities for India. And which are the sector? Which are the sector generally providing employment opportunities to India? There are two. One is agriculture and another one is traditional industries. Out of this, agriculture is the most agriculture is providing maximum number of employment opportunities. And what is its condition now? Out of approximately 52% of the people are farmers now, or related to agriculture activities now. And remaining people are has come out of agripreneurship or working as a marginal agripreneur. So this creates another chance. When we further forecasted the supply of agripreneurship, it was realized that by 2040, only 24% of the agripreneurs or agriculture workers will be available in India. And what is the population today? Today is, we can say that 130 crores. But at the same time, by 2040, we expect approximately 500 to 600 crores populations in India. By 600 crores population, against that, we may have only 24% of agriculture entrepreneurs, agripreneurs in this country. So the gap between employment opportunities available, and the requirement of employment opportunities will be much huge. So government has decided that only one option to solve this issue, to convert students as job providers instead of job seekers. That is why startup policy has emerged today. What we are doing with the startup policy, the students who are interested to opt their life as an entrepreneurial career, then they can approach the government, because in Kerala there is a mission called Kerala Startup Mission, KSUM. So if you can approach them and get incubator facility, maybe in your college it will be there, incubation or IEDC cells and all. This kind of policy level implementation government has been taken care of, has been done only to convert students as job providers instead of job seekers. So by doing such kind of situations, by policies, you will be attracted to, you will be able to aware about the scope of entrepreneurs. So we worked on that, and a proper ecosystem. What we mean by ecosystem? One entrepreneurial aspirant has come out, the government and the community has to provide all kind of facilities and support for such kind of aspirants. That level has to come in. That is why ecosystem, government is working for making a conducive ecosystem for entrepreneurship. So there is a gap. Another issue that we are facing is technological issues. What is the technological issues? You see, until now we were using common taxis, autos and all. And in your nearby house, it will be available. You will be going and calling, and by telephone and all, they will be coming and picking up. Now, Uber and all a kind of intervention by making a call without knowing the driver, taxi owner and all, that is coming to you and picking them and dropping you somewhere. So there is a change because of the technology. And what is the next level? Next level is the carrier will be coming over by air, and it will be lifting you from your place and dropping you to the destination. So what will be, and that carrier will be without a driver. So what is going to happen? The job of drivers are missing. The requirement of highly sophisticated roads are not required. The job of traffic police may not be required much. The job of insurance are not required much. these are all bringing down the scope of employment opportunities because of the technological advancement. But at the same, this technological advancement itself will create another layer of employment opportunity, that keeping it aside. So prima facie, we look at it, this technological advancement may reduce slightly the employment opportunities. Also, we can also take another example, the technological advancement, the nanotechnology, nanobots and all the latest terms that we use. A chip, if implanted in your body, it will be roaming around your body, and it through sensor, it will be coming to the medical clinic and telling that what kind of problems you have. This is already started in Western countries. So you don't have to consult a doctor ever. You don't have to move to the doctor clinic ever. Once you put the chip in your body, it will be automatically through sensor, it will be automatically scanning entire body, and you will be sending report to the medical clinics. What will be next level? Next level will be when a child is born, we will be implanting a chip in his body, and it will be throughout his life. It will be implanted in your body. It will be giving your body condition to the clinics or doctor who are maybe there. So this kind of advancement also, prima facie, I say prima facie, will be cutting down the employment opportunities. So taking care of this kind of aspect, what government of India decided, along with the state governments, let us have a better policy for entrepreneurship education. So that is why startup policy has come in. This kind of incubator center has come in your college, ED cell has come in, and various departments and ministries working for that. Similarly, what we are doing right now is, when are you getting entrepreneurship education? You are getting entrepreneurship education only in the level of graduation. So we try to make a change for that. We start from higher education. Otherwise, we will be giving fertilizer when the time to take the yield from the crop. The last moment we will be doing that. So to avoid that, we started to have various inputs from high school onwards. So the student will be in a position to gauge what are the potential, what are the possibilities of becoming a job provider rather than job seeker. Another important issue of teaching you all about entrepreneurship is, if you work entrepreneurially, then your effectiveness will be much higher. See, some of the best MNCs now, when they recruit when they have the recruitment, they look forward that, is there any gentleman who has failed in many times with the startups? If you have failed with the 3 startups, then they are quite happy to take you in their payroll, because the wonderful experience, wonderful exposure that you have may not be available with any of the person. I don't mean that you people have to fail in your startups, but this kind of approach has been is emerging out nowadays. And because of this, that EDA has also contributed well for entrepreneurship education. We have 1-day course, we have 1-week course, we have 1-month course, we have 1-year correspondence course. Temporarily it is withheld now because we are revising its curriculum and we are revising its material and all. Otherwise, soon it will be again launched 1-year distance education diploma. Another one is 2 years pure academic MBA, and we are also having fellow programs. So whenever you require anything in education, now by having this kind of interactions, what I feel from you is that you may not everybody may not be in a position to act or function as entrepreneur. But once you absorb the entrepreneurial thoughts, entrepreneurial actions, you will be known as intrapreneur. This kind of intrapreneurial work will give you a good space whichever may be the field you are working for. So the purpose of talking to you about entrepreneurship in these colleges or an educational institution is either to convert you as an entrepreneur or at least to make you as an intrapreneur. So this is the basic things in education also we are doing. And I will make a request to you people that whenever you go for study tour and all, we may have to enjoy, we may have to take a pleasure trip, but at the same time also, you people may have to do the wonderful institutions like Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, National Institute of Design. This kind of institutions you may have to visit and get a good feeling about what are all the possibilities in our life. Because this kind of life may be changed by getting a single point of information. See, that may take you to some other level. So this kind of chances we may not miss. Study tour may be utilized and used as for the real purpose. And you may try to make this kind of visit to this kind of mega institution, right kind of institutions. By going ahead, yeah, when we talk about entrepreneurship, it has three pillars. One is entrepreneur, another one is enterprise, third one is environment. We said that if we provide this kind of facilities, we will be able to become a best entrepreneur. But friends, it is not that somebody has to provide you all. Of course, we are working for developing a conducive ecosystem and all. But if you have a right kind of attitude, right kind of thoughts, right kind of action, then everything will come to you. You see that most of our first generation entrepreneurs, they may have much more difficulties. They have faced many kind of issues during the initial life of their entrepreneurial career. But if you have an insight, about entrepreneurship, if you have capability of entrepreneurial actions, then all kind of resources will come to you. Generally, we can classify entrepreneurs in two categories. One is necessity entrepreneurs. Another one is opportunity entrepreneurs. What is necessity entrepreneurs? Necessity entrepreneurs means we don't have any other options. Neither the government, nor the community, or the society, or we ourselves was not in a position to identify a right kind of livelihood option for us or employment opportunities for us. We have not left with anything else other than that taking care of starting an entrepreneurial career, self-employment, livelihood options. So such kind of community, because the Kudumbasri units and all, or the people who are forcefully forced to join or take their career as an entrepreneur are to be called as necessity entrepreneurs, because they are not left with anything else. But at the same time, there are certain kind of community people who are good at taking their own decisions without anybody's influence, without anybody's suggestion, support, policies, resources, and all. Such kind of people are known as opportunity entrepreneurs. See, Dhirubhai Ambani, or our what do you say, this gentleman, Pachosep Chittilapilli. These people were not going for training. They were not going to they were not going for any kind of special schemes, that counseling and all. Rather than they themselves in a position to stand and advise others what you should do for to work as an entrepreneur. So this kind of level is there different. One is necessity entrepreneurs, wherein we don't have any other option other than approaching or taking entrepreneurial case as our livelihood, for our livelihood, or there are another category of people where they themselves identify right kind of business opportunities and they engage it. So this is the two level of entrepreneur. If right kind of entrepreneur is there, opportunity entrepreneur is there, the enterprises will be able to manage enterprises very well. But to manage the enterprises, there is a need for taking care of environment. I'm sure that there are certain kind of business, if initiated, we will be getting better prospects, better profits and all. But we may not be in a position to do that. Why? Because environmental sensibility. If liquor business in Kerala, if we start, that we one day in a day we are certain times we are consuming 600 crores worth of liquor and all. So if we start such kind of business, it will be profitable. But will we be in a position to do so? No. Why? Because there are government restrictions. So you should identify when you opt for a business career, what are my capabilities? You may have to go for a SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis? You may have to analyze your strength, your weakness, your opportunities, and the threats. These are the four factors you may have to analyze: your strength, weakness, opportunities, and the threats. Similarly, you are also required to have SWOT analysis for the enterprise you are going to start. So by combining both of these, you will be able to get a good picture about these are environmental issues, these are issues for resource mobilization, these are the issues for legal complications. So identifying all this, you can solve this kind of issues, then you will be a right kind of entrepreneur. So to start, as an entrepreneur, to start your enterprises, you have good vision for your enterprises, as well as you should have a better SWOT analysis for your enterprises. Then your environment aspects will be taken care of very easily. When I say that, earlier we have told that there are certain kind of myth that entrepreneurs are not born. Entrepreneurs are born, and we are not in a position to change them. That was the myth there earlier. Similarly, there were many myths prevails. One is that question that who is an entrepreneur? If somebody asks what was the options in earlier times, it was a person who is successfully running a business, manufacturing or service activity is an entrepreneur. Earlier perception was that if a person do business only, he will be called as an entrepreneur. If you're doing some kind of other work, if I say that example, Mother Teresa, she was not doing business, but can we call her as an entrepreneur? This is a question that we may have to raise. As per earlier perception, general perception, she was not an entrepreneur, and she is considered as a charity worker. But as per the new perception, a person who is entrepreneurial in whatever he does, to be called as entrepreneur. In that fashion, we can see that whoever may be made a milestone in their career will be to be called as entrepreneur. A person who is entrepreneurial in whatever he does, to be called as entrepreneur. Similarly, another perception, general perception, who are all the people who should become an entrepreneur? It's generally believed that if he is not employed, he will become an entrepreneur. Similarly, if he is not educated well, he can opt entrepreneurship as his career. If he is very bad academic track record, then he will be joining entrepreneurship streams. If he is most dull-headed, then also there is no scope for him in other options. Then he will take entrepreneurship as his career option. If he is with very low IQ, then it is career as in entrepreneurship, and he will become an entrepreneur. This was the earlier general perception available. And now again, what is the perception about it? Now the perception is each one of us, friends, we all have our own capability to think and act entrepreneurially. We all have capability to have an entrepreneurial culture in our thoughts and actions. So we have all this. All of us have this kind of capabilities, but are we in a position to sharp it and make it useful for that kind of purpose? That was the question that we may have to ask each one of us. Let us believe that each one of us have, in reality, entrepreneurial capability, and whether we engage for entrepreneurial options or whether we go for intrapreneurial option, that is the question right now. And entrepreneurs are always related with success. So what is success? We can say just like certain people believe that it's accomplishment unless until he gets, we say that unless until he is certain people, if he just pass graduation, he will be successful. People think in a different level, in different degree. So for certain students, just accomplishment will be a success. But at the same time, some students, to get a success, it should be achievement. At least you should have first class. At the same time, for certain students, it should be victory. Victory means at least you should have a distinction. For certain students, it should be a rank. So that means the success means entrepreneurs are always related to success. Success means when the event produces a result favoring me or the way in which I wanted, then it is success for me. Why it is relevant and important here? It is up to you people, which kind of business we may have to start. Because it can be a very low level enterprises, micro enterprises, tiny enterprises, cottage enterprises, self-employment, or entrepreneurship as a career option. So according to the taste and whims and fancies of the individual, the range will be changing. And each one of us, as per our entrepreneurial thoughts and actions, we may have to take a stand that what should be the size of enterprise that we may have to establish. Who wants success? Everybody. But nevertheless, whether the degree is differs of success, then ultimately each one of us require success. Everybody is aspirant for success. Similarly, another question that coming out, who can be a successful? We have talked about success. It varies from individual to individual. And at the same time, there was a perception about a successful person. Who can be successful person? It was general perception was any individual with luck. If he is successful in his career, why he could be successful? It is only because of the fact that he has a good luck. Because of the luck, he will be successful in his life. Another one is he has very high IQ. That is why he become successful. Another thing is support from family and friends. His friends are good. His friends are influencing people. His family members are also influencing people. Then he could be able to success. Even if he starts business, he will be able to achieve good results. Lots of money, as we told earlier, that if that being the case, all the people who are wealthy people must have started their business. They must have started their entrepreneurial career. But it is not so. The people who have a large number, you see, even 1990 in Pathanamthitta, State Bank of India, there were more than 100 people who has investment there more than 100 crores. During 1990, in SBI Pathanamthitta, State Bank of India Pathanamthitta, there were more than 100 people who have more than bank deposit of more than 100 crores. Now you don't have to count the number because it is much huge now. So having money with us, we may not start the entrepreneurial career. Successful people always feel that the basic reason for successful is if he is having money, he can be successful in life. This is also not clear. Company of influencing people may lead to successful. This was also the general perception. But the modern era, this has been changed, and as per the new perception, any individual with a normal IQ but having entrepreneurial approach means in earlier slide what we have seen that high IQ, luck, friends, influencing people and all. None of them are supporting you to be successful in your life. If you like to be successful in your life, you should have an entrepreneurial approach altogether. That will take you into success. That is why do smart work, get sustained result. You will be able to have success in your career. Successful person in India. As such, a successful entrepreneurial person, whatever he does, he mobilizes resources. As I told you earlier, if you stand as an opportunity entrepreneur, then you will be able to mobilize factors of production. You will be able to manage all kind of resources for the success of your initiatives. You should have for that purpose, you should have a good dream, good vision, and has a good concept. We should, what is the basic problem with us? If I ask you, all of you, that how many of you people have seen or dreamed to be an entrepreneurial person? I don't feel that more than 10 or 50% will be dreaming to be or in a position to be entrepreneurial aspirants. All of us generally, by culturally, we prefer to have some kind of jobs. It's a certain kind of cultural factors. When you go to Gujarat, when you go to Rajasthan, in the certain part of Maharashtra, the people are much interested to start their own business and have an entrepreneurial career. But in the society like ours, we have very limited people, very limited percentage of the people who are interested to start their career in entrepreneurship. So for that purpose, one of the basic reason is that we don't have the better dreams towards entrepreneurship. In case if you have a dream, you don't have a better concept. If you have better concept, you don't have a vision. What is the vision means? Vision means nothing but it should be a smart. Everything you should be smart now. So vision should always be smart. Smart means yes for specific. It should be specified, and it should be measurable. M for measurable. It should be achievable. It should be result. It should be result oriented, and it should be time bound. Vision, you should keep your vision as a smart means smart vision means it should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be achievable, it should be realistic, it should be time bound. When you whether it is for your entrepreneurial career or your personal life, you should have a better dreams, you should have better concept, and accordingly you should have a better vision. When you vision, this should be applicable for each one of us. If I say that, what is your vision? That I would like to have some kind of income, or I would like to have better job. This kind of vague, instead of this kind of vague answer, we should be able to say within this much period, within 2 years, I would be able to start my own enterprises. Or within 3 years, immediately after completion of the course, within a couple of years, I would like to have a government job, no issue. After the completion of my education, within 2 years, I would like to work with an MNC. I would like to work with a corporate company. Or within 5 years, my basic income will be at least minimum of 1 lakh. It should be clearable. Then this mission is to be divided to vision. So what are all the things required for that end? So friends, one important aspect is you should have better dreams. I don't have to say that what are all our late Abdul Kalam ji has told about the dream. Not only a dream, that dream has to have good concept, and that concept has been converted into a mission. Then it is followed by a proper mission. Then your life will be successful. Another one, that you should be able to adapt and scan environment. We have passing through various wonderful opportunities, but we leave it wherever we have seen it. We are not in a position to absorb it, analyze it, take care of it, and take a lead on that. So this kind of approach may not be help you to be successful in life. Rather than when there is an opportunity, when there is a chance, you have to, for such kind of things, you may have to scan the environment and you may have to adapt better strategies for that. So this kind of attitude may have to come from successful entrepreneurial personalities. Another one is perseverance in overcoming obstacles. There will be large number of obstacles in your personal life, and especially it is much more in entrepreneurial career, because from morning to evening, you will be spending your life, spending your times only to cross the barriers, only to remove the obstacles. I'll give you wonderful examples here that, you know that during 1980s, there was a Coca-Cola available in India. But then Foreign Minister Sri George Fernandez was having some kind of issues with the Coca-Cola, and they have decided, government was decided to pack them off to their country. The government of India told that right now what is going on with social medias and all, I'm not getting into that. So here in this product, Coca-Cola government had decided that we don't need Coca-Cola. You can go back, because unless until you comply with our own terms and conditions, we will not be able to allow you to operate here. So Coca-Cola went back. And later on, during 1991, when Manmohan Singh was the finance minister under Narasimha Rao ministry, we have signed a pact, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Under this pact, if India signed it in this treaty, other people who are maybe signed the same treaty can come and start business in the respective countries. So that point of time, 1991-92, Coca-Cola has signed, US has signed, India has signed, Britain has signed, France, many countries have signed, and Coca-Cola has come and analyzed whether we will be able to start Coca-Cola business in India again. When they came here for market survey, they have realized that there is another giant, software drinks giant, Pepsi is working in this country. So they try to analyze how we can compete with them. After the survey, they went back, and one fine morning, they announced that from next 15th onwards, we will be launching Coca-Cola in India again. And that day, Coca-Cola has come and they launched their product by competing with Pepsi. What was the strategy they have adopted was, Pepsi was supplying 250 milli drink with 80 rupees. That was the price of Pepsi available in the market. 250 milli, 8 rupees. That point of time, Cola has come in and they started supplying 300 milli for 8 rupees. So what will happen? Because one of a sudden we were having that very good feeling that Coca-Cola is so nice drink, this and that and all. So we were quite eager to have Coca-Cola. At the same time, when these people has providing, Coca-Cola is providing 50 milli more with the same price. What Pepsi can do? Only one option they have left with to increase their quantity. And what is the possibility of increasing the quantity? During that point of time, soft drinks were available only in glass bottles. And what is the investment, the main investment of soft drinks? At that point of time, it was only glass bottles. And to change strategy of Pepsi to provide at 8 rupees with 300 milli, Pepsi is forced to change all their bottles and they have to come up with the new bottles. Was it possible? Not at all. So what is another option left with? They can reduce the price. If Pepsi reduce their price, what will happen? That we will say that no, as soon as the Pepsi has come into the market, Pepsi has gone down, they reduce their price. Then also they are getting negative remarks. So to come up with strategies, there is a healthy competition, this kind of situation that really the companies will work, and there were a large number of brainstormings and all, and they have decided that we will be able to supply in PET bottles. Then later on, Cola also started bottles. Now the scenario has changed, and both of them win-to-win situation, they are moving around. So the obstacles in entrepreneurial career, there are many like this. We can see that it has happened in our personal life also, it will be happening much. But in entrepreneurial life, it will be much more. Able to convert the dream into reality. If you are a successful entrepreneurial person, you should be able to convert your dream into reality. And most of the times, it is possible. If one time, if it is not possible, if you have an entrepreneurial approach and attitude, you will be stick with the dreams and you will be managing it some other way around. The perseverance is one of the best things for getting dream into reality. So entrepreneurial successful person mobilizes resources when and when he mobilizes resources, he should have a good dream and concept and vision. He should be able to adapt and scan the environment, preserve in overcoming obstacles, able to convert dream into reality, assess risk versus rewards. See, if you are going to invest 10 lakhs rupees in a business, so you have to analyze what are the risks involved in, what are the profits I will be getting it. If I just put this money into fixed deposit in any of the banks, I'll be getting up to this much. And I'll be spending my life, not as a worker, I'll be spending my life entire times as an entrepreneur. So my work load will be much higher. So by doing that, if I am getting only at par with the FD interest rate, why should I go for that? So we may have to, for that, getting the similar kind of amount from starting a business, why should I take this kind of risk? Because in business, if we fail, there is also possibility that investment has gone. So we may have to analyze properly the risk as well as its rewards. Is it clear? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now I ask you a question that what is in the picture you are seeing now?
Dot.
Pardon? What is in the screen now?
Dot.
So the dartboard it has not changed from the dartboard. Who can be successful? Is a slide. The slide is showing who can be successful.
Able to see now?
No, sir. Now also it's the same thing. If you can just stop presenting and represent again.
What is seeing now? Hello?
Same thing only, sir. Please stop presenting. And once again, can you share the screen?
Shall I stop and reshare it?
Okay, I'll just stop the presentation now. Yeah, you can just share the screen. I think the presentation had got stuck at who can be successful. Yeah, now we can see it. You can put it in full screen mode, sir.
Yeah? Hello? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
So what is in the picture?
Tree.
Okay. Any other comments? Only one comment I have got. Any more comments?
Without tree.
Okay. Two comments.
Some faces are,
Some faces.
yeah,
How many faces?
I think more than 5.
More than 5.
Yeah.
How many of you could see the faces?
Yes, sir.
Everybody could see the faces?
Yes, sir.
How many faces are there?
I think 6 faces, sir.
So 7.
7.
Pardon?
7.
7 faces.
7. Furthermore, no, 7. You are stuck up with 7. And who are these 7 people? Can you identify them?
Isaac Newton.
Yeah.
C.V. Raman.
Yeah.
Gandhi ji, I guess.
Yeah.
Jawaharlal Nehru.
Please.
Indira Gandhi.
Indira Gandhi.
Nehru. Jawaharlal.
Nehru.
Manmohan Singh.
Mohan Singh. Okay. So what is the learning? I just would like to say slightly at adapts and scans environment. You know, first time when you see this, what you realize it is a tree, just a tree. But was it a tree? No. What was it? It's the great people of India. There are approximately 10 great people of India. By looking at them, you people have commented that these are the trees. This is a tree which has no leaves, which has no branch. So such a kind of feeling you could create. And in reality, when you get into, it was the great visionaries, great functionaries of India. So this is the importance of scans environment, adapts strategies. If you get into, you will be able to have much more opportunities, chances if you get into. So please, there are much more visible photos. Could you see? One more question, one more puzzle. Please answer. How many square in this picture? I'll give you a couple of minutes.
So 31.
40.
40. Anyone else? I need a few more comments.
39.
39.
31.
31.
35.
35,
31.
31,
34.
34,
39.
39. See how many?
35.
35. See how many? How many? How
40.
many?
40.
40.
Yeah, there are large number of opportunities available. And again, I say, if you are getting into depth, you will be able to identify more chances, better chances, right kind of opportunities and score. So do have that kind of attitude. Don't leave the things as it is. So here, entrepreneurship means entrepreneurship is a purposeful activity of an individual or a group of associated individuals undertaken to initiate, maintain, or aggrandize profit by production of distribution of economic goods. This is the final definition as per the latest economicians. Entrepreneurial potential. All of us, as I told you earlier, all of us have entrepreneurial potential, but the degree might differ. It is just a matter of developing that potential. Most important aspect that second line, we all have different degree of entrepreneurial potential, but that could be sharpened further. That should be that we will be able to sharpen it further and engage it properly. It is possible. If once you adopt a proper strategy, your skill will be increased. So try for that. Try to understand what are our limitations. Try to have a better SWOT analysis. After that, you take a better kind of concepts and try the right kind of decisions. Then your entrepreneurial attitude, entrepreneurial behavior will come out. And for each student, it may be differs. But if you realize what are your limitations, if you work on that, it could be increased. And I think that the most important aspects, whenever we are proposing to do a work, the basic things required for that is competence. If you apply for a job, you can see that you should be able to strive under competence. You should be able to work under stress. This kind of phenomena you can see nowadays in advertisements and all. And what we mean by competence? Competence means it's a mixture of knowledge, skill, and attitude. If I would like to perform in any of the activity, any of the work, if you would like to be a singer, if I would like to be a swimmer, I would like to be a sportsman, if I would like to be a teacher, whatsoever may be in the field, I should have enough knowledge about that work. But the knowledge alone will not be able to take you to success. Then that knowledge you may have to convert into skills. Skills, what is skills? Skills is application of application of knowledge is the result of application of knowledge is the skills. If you practice it repeatedly, then your knowledge will come into reality. Then it becomes your skill. Skills are in two types of skills are there. One is hard skills, another one is soft skills. Here I will give you another example that I have two neighbors. Both of them are auto pullers. One auto puller is called as Madhavan. Another auto puller is Rajan. Both of them are my neighbors, and they will charge very professionally with me. because as per the norms and all. But I am always tempted to go with Rajan, not with Madhavan. Why? Certain kind of behavioral soft skills is expressed by Mr. Rajan. If two of out of you, if two of you have going for an interview and appear in front of an interview board, if both of you are equal, on the basis of what they select one of you? It is mark is clear, your skill is clear, your track record is clear, then only the deviating factor will be soft skill and hard skills. They will be assessing your soft skills. So most of the times, soft skill has very high significance compared to hard skills. So try to develop your soft skills. And similarly, to become a performer, to become a successful person, you would like to have a right kind of attitude. So there are three things required to be successful. There are three things required to be a performer. That is knowledge, skills, and attitude. These three, the mixture of knowledge, skills, and attitude are called as competence. So this is the basic things that we may have to identify. There are 15 types of competencies. It starts from initiative, because what is initiative? Takes action that go beyond job requirements or the demand of the situation. We don't have to wait for anybody. We will be taking our own decision and coming into. This is one of the first competencies, initiatives. Second one is seize and acts on opportunities. We have seen that for out of 40, that how many we could see. Out of great visionaries, functionaries of India, we could see what we could see first. We could see only the tree. So we should be able to act and opportunity. We should identify opportunities, chances, and accordingly we should act upon it. Third initiative is persistence. Takes or takes repeated or different actions to overcome obstacles. There will be, we are told that there will be a large number of issues in entrepreneurial career, so we may have to overcome it. So for that purpose, we should have persistence. Another competency, information seeking. We should gather always information about the segment that we are going to work on. Another one is concern for high quality of work. We should be always asked to do things that meet or beat existing standards of excellence. Similarly, commitment to work contract places the highest priority or getting a job completed. This should be our vision. This should be our mission. We should be working for that. Efficiency orientation finds ways to do things faster or with fewer resources or at a lower cost. So efficiency is another competencies that we have identified to be a performer. Another one is systematic planning, problem solving skills, self-confidence, assertiveness, confront problems and issues with others directly. Otherwise, you will not be having any place in this your activities. Persuasion, use of influence strategies, monitoring, and concern for employees' welfare. These are the we have told about what are the competencies. What is competence? Competence is a mixture of knowledge, skills, and attitude. And to be a successful personality, to be a performer, you should have approximately 15 competencies. These are the 15 competencies. And the degree of entrepreneurial competencies differs. Entrepreneurial behavior differs in each individual, but you will be able to take a SWOT analysis on your actions and thoughts. You will be able to identify which are the competencies much higher on my side, which is the lower one. And if you try to sharpen that lower one, you will be able to increase its degree and you will be able to successful in your life, whether it is entrepreneurial career, whether it is your ordinary life. So competence is the basic root for success of any individual So, dear students, please take care of identifying competencies required for. Identify the competencies to be increased in your personality and try to groom them well. Success will be of you best. I think that the time is getting over now. We can stop the session here. Shivan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in case if any questions.
Yeah, guys, like if you have any questions, any doubts, you can just please shoot out the questions now. Anything regarding entrepreneurship?
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, could you list out some of the programs that help students in students in investing for their startups?
See, you should have a better understanding on business canvas. What is business plan or business business plan or business can be means? It is the horoscope of a business. So when you have some kind of information about what are all the things to be taken care of, what should kind of product we should see, what kind of capabilities we have, what kind of raw material we should have, what kind of marketing strategy we should have, this kind of inputs you people should get. So try to get a proper knowledge about opportunities as well as its business model, that business plan. That will take you in a good side. And also you try to understand what are all the support schemes available right now. Government of Kerala will be providing a large number of supports. That is why Kerala is one of the first states who initiated startup policy. So understanding of this kind of business policies also will help you out to have a better initiative for starting for startups. I say business plan, I say product identification, I say government schemes.
Is your doubt clear, Mark Anthony?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anything
Any
else?
other
Anyone
doubts?
else?
Any further doubts?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, you were talking about so many strategies and policies the government is putting forth, especially in our state. Maybe what I'm pointing out is quite absurd and it's not factual, but still, I really did like to know, because especially in state like ours, we have an ecosystem for entrepreneurship. Like KSUM has been working towards it to a large extent. But don't you think we are limiting ourselves into the software domain? I mean, can you get, if I'm wrong, can you just put some light on what are the policies by the government towards the manufacturing segment, or some entrepreneurs daring to dream towards manufacturing segment side? Can you put some light on it, sir?
You are absolutely right, because Kerala Startup Mission's main domain is IT related industry, software related industry. But we have also started, government of Kerala also started similar kind of initiatives for non-engineering colleges and institutions. It is emerging out. And we are also coming up. Now you see that if you would like to start a business of your own, there is a special package. The last government, during the last phase, it has been announced that CM EGP, Chief Minister's Fund for Employment Generation Program. And also we have developed an ecosystem with the CareDisk. We have also developing single window systems. What was the basic problems that we were facing to launch an enterprise in Kerala? One of the most critical aspect was licensing syndrome. In Kerala, when we start a business, we may have to get approximately 32 licenses, and to get clearance of these certificates was a huge issue. That is why government of Kerala has come up with a single window system. For students also, non-engineering students also, Kerala Startup Mission like policies and schemes are to be provided, and it is in the initial stage. Of course, they are working since the last 5 years about this kind of what I'll say, just replicating the things, but it didn't come out well as it is done by Kerala Startup Mission. But we are progressing on that. Licensing address, licensing syndrome, we are coming out of that licensing syndrome, because single window system will be helpful to you, will be help you to launch your business soon. Infrastructure related issues, we are coming up with the various KSIDC initiated parks and all. And you know that even trade what will say, this trade organization, their direct involvement in the business industries and all, it has been curtailed now, and KDISC is providing facilities. CMEGP like initiatives are giving you government fund. So ecosystem for non-engineering, non-software related industries also coming out, and we may have to start use its increased ratio, then only more and more will come in. So government is doing the best level towards this course. I say that it didn't match at par with what KSUM is doing, but we are progressing on that. Almost all the funds we are moving ahead. Clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anything else? Anyone else?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, as you said, if there is a person who wants to move into this line to become an entrepreneur, now unlike just like as you have said with regard to EDI, there are so many other institutes and like KSUM and other organizations, government as well as non-government, they are offering ways and means how to come into this line. For example, if you just surf through the internet, there are so many people, they are saying they're you just join this course, 5-day course, 3-day course, 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, and I myself are an entrepreneur, so I will share my experience. It will be very fruitful to you. So in one way, I think they are competing with EDI also, or maybe they might be complementing. But what will be your view on those? So they are trying to commercialize this art of teaching entrepreneurship as well. So
from EDI, we welcome large number of competitors. We welcome large number of competitors to an EDI, because one of the basic motto of EDI is institutionalization of EDI activities. I say institutionalization of EDI activities. We are not capable of doing or taking care of gamut of an entire entrepreneurial activities required for this country. That is why we have initiated state level ED institute, which I told that Kerala Institute for Entrepreneurship Development. We were the first institute who was entering into the woman empowerment or entrepreneurship mode. We started Kudumbasri model. And right now, you can see that Kudumbasri is competing with us in 14 states. 14 states. You know, there are national level programs being implemented by Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India, where Kudumbasri is challenging us. And we were, that is a healthy competition. You know. Third one, we were the people who started faculty development programs in educational sector since the last 20 years. If you analyze, out of 182 engineering college or something, in almost all the engineering colleges, you can see there EDI trained nodal officers, mostly. Through that initiative, the Kerala Startup Mission kind of entity has come in. We also worked for Kerala State Youth Welfare Board. We would like to have similar kind of setup there. So what we work for, that institution building. We work for, we want to develop entrepreneurs as such. Rather than EDI's objective is developing and establishing ED institutions across India. Now it is beyond India. Yeah, as our this corporate film, you have seen that in various underdeveloped countries, we are implementing the replica of EDI and helping them to take this kind of challenges. So that is and EDI never EDI would like to have more challenges. EDI would like to have very sophisticated area of entrepreneurship. EDI would like to work only in right kind of developing ecosystem or policy making syndrome. This is what we look forward, because EDI has within 30 years we have reached more than 100 countries, and we are working on we are working only for one spirit. We would like to only for one concept, that is entrepreneurship. So that is a better result that we consider in that way. Is it all right?
Yes, all right, sir. Thank you.
See, what we would like to have now, that in educational sector, you see, people have to take challenges of emerging needs of entrepreneurial community. You will have to address, we will be in a position to address this kind of the challenging needs. You can come up and work with EDI, you can do courses in EDI, and you can work for EDI in various levels, you know. So these are all the possibilities for, and we need such kind of environment as such. Any other questions? Yeah, you can visit our website ediindia.org, and you will be getting much more information about our EDI activities. You know?
I have already posted the website address in your chat box. So if you're interested, you can visit the website and see about like our activities as well.
I think, Shivan, that we can wind up now.
Yeah, Agosh sir is there. Anya,
yeah.
shall we wind up now?
Yeah. Okay. So I think that is the end of our session. I'm Sanya, and I'm here to present a vote of thanks for today's webinar. Firstly, I would like to thank our webinar speakers, Mr. Shivan Ambat and Mr. Shivan Mohammed TK, for joining and enlightening us with their knowledge. I would also like to thank Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India for hosting this webinar. Today's webinar gave us deep insights on entrepreneurial awareness and competencies, and it also revealed some interesting facts. I'm pretty sure that the precious knowledge that we got from today's session will definitely help us in our future. Secondly, I would like to thank the HOD of our department, Dr. Rajesh Kocheril, and all other faculties of our department for organizing this webinar. Last but not the least, I thank all the students present here for paying your kind attention. With this, I'm stopping my words. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.